Okay, here it is. This is the first shooting of the workout closet. One area of the workout closet. This is the countertop, two sink countertop. We'll get more into that. So I'll give you a whole circuit of what it looks like, but right now we're going to work on a technique which is the upper body portion of the STORK. The STORK is stands an acronym that stands for stance theory, like dance theory, but stance, the theory of standing. You know, what does it mean to stand? And so that's so stance theory, optimized reflex kinetics. It's really and the acronym, so the STORK, S-T-O-R-K. You know, it's a theory of standing. What does it mean to stand, and how balance and awareness and strength, how they're all interplay with one another. Now, what does it mean to stand, and what does it mean to fall, and how can we use that theory of falling, and can we gain leverage, gaining leverage from falling? Can we use that to exercise, as an exercise, instead of grabbing onto something, pulling, lifting weights, but using the palm of our hands? If we didn't have anything, just a countertop. And can we, like a gecko or lizard or snail or worm with the ridges in our hand, use those as, to gain traction, to create friction, a little moisture, friction, spread it out, press it down, and now you can push, you can push, you can push, you can push, you can always push, and you can. It's about adding force so that your muscles begin to squeeze with the effort, because that's really all lifting is. Pushing, lifting is a squeezing of the muscles. Squeezing and keeping that squeeze. To lift something, you're squeezing the muscle. You're squeezing. You're squeezing. So can you take that same squeezing? I mean, you don't need weights to squeeze, but just can you find a way to squeeze your muscles? So, whereas one part of this STORK is for standing on one leg and exercising, we'll get into that. But there's an upper body portion of that as well. Can we utilize that, and without going anywhere? Not have to go anywhere, but can we get against either a counter or against maybe a wall? But here is where we start here, because we're going to get there later. That's what we're going for. We're going for climbing the wall. But here, Spider-Man. But falling and keeping yourself from falling and using the friction of your hands, the grip to now. On one leg. On one leg. And so. Then I'm leaning back as I'm on my left leg. On my heel. And it's as close up under the counter as possible. I'm not holding on to it, and so I'm leaning back. I'm leaning back. But I'm using grip to keep myself from falling. And so it's the pressure I press down along with the grip that I have on my hands. And so the idea is to increase the amount of muscles that are active in the effort to hold or to grip or to pull or to push. We grab onto things, we take a lot of the little muscles out because we've tightened all those large muscles, and those inner muscles, they just go along for the ride. They're kind of like compressed in there without doing anything. And so can we take that, so can we distribute that more? Well, distributive feet is a technique that's being used in robotics, where they're it's like a distributed leg of a gecko or something, or a roach or something. It's all along the leg. This is the whole leg and the whole arm. So whereas can we employ that same, get all those muscles in here employed by tying them together. So, and that's what actually happens. With the flat of your hand, you distribute all that, and now if you look, you can see all along the ridge. But anyway, so we make this an exercise. This becomes exercise. That leverage from falling. And this is for backside. This is for here. And get all, and you got it. And the core, always core. Core up, core down. So this is the core up. So this becomes an exercise of the complete 160. All right, so I'm going to do 1 set. 5, 6. I'm going to do 10 of these. 7, 8, 10 full reps. 9, 10. Now, 10 pulse reps at the backside. So it's really just, you got to pull with the lats. So this is a strict kind of lats and back of the arms. Do 10 of these so that the pull engages from the back because everything else is stretched out. So you got big muscles to pull me up and then the rest pull. So do 10 of those, then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8. So that fires them up. Fire those arms up. Fires those lats up. Now, so that was the back side. So that's kind of brief. But now we're going to go for the front. And how do we work this also? We worked here to the back by leaning backwards, distributing the weight among all the muscles back. So keeping ourselves from falling, that just naturally that ties into the back side. So now, how do we tie in the front side now? We want to get the front. And so that's where, hey, push. So we do the pushing. And for us for me having the surface here, 36 inches of height, black marble, oh, lovely. And we have to engage now all the chest, all the front, biceps, forearms, chest, sternum, abs. But everything is always a band wrapped and compressed. And so we get a push and a breathing. And so just by pressing down, and it's about always, maintain like you're trying to keep a wall from being pressed to you. And so you're pressing away. And so no matter what position, you're always pressing, you're always pushing. It's always pushing. You want to see the muscles pushing. So can you take that like something's pressing and you always have to push because you don't want to get squashed, and you're pushing and you're employing everything in front is push, and you're pushing from your core out and get all those muscles engaged. And so let's make that an exercise, will we? Okay, 40. So we're going to start with the first 10 full reps, even all these. So it's pushing throughout every range of motion. Every range. We're always pushing. We never let up pushing. We're always pushing. And you're always pushing. But now you're just controlling it. And so get every muscle used to being involved on it. And so you can start by just getting that pushing. And start slowly. Continue to push and continue to push, always pushing. And you just can to gauge your way down to the bottom until your chest is almost touching, and you continue pushing. And you're pushing this position. And so maybe you feel better because push up here and just hold. Then push up here and hold. Push up here and hold. Push up here and hold. Continue pushing here. Push here. Push here. Push. And you want to see. Show you I can move. I can change it around too. So